DonleyAuctions.com.
I love America. I love the Constitution. I love the First Amendment. I want to carry and all else. I love property. And let me tell you something. If you care about your country, read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian Economic School, motherfuckers.
From the streets of Melrose Park to the trading floor of the Merc, he's fought for every dollar he's ever earned. And now, with personal liberty and our system of capitalism under assault in America, he's here to seize back our rights from the government. With a cigar in one hand and a copy of the Declaration of Independence in the other, he's Shaun Thompson. And this is the Shaun Thompson Show.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue.
I love talking to people like our next guest. And what I mean by that is some people survive and others live. I can't decide who's more proud of him, his parents or his kids. From athletics to business, success, hard work, and determination really is the legacy of the CEO of Agentis Longevity, which is, by my count, at least his 5th venture in business after 3rd place in the Olympics, professional football player. Jimmy St. Louis, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a wonderful mission that you've been on, and I like watching, learning about your career. It's really quite interesting, and what you've done with your life, and now as you enter this Core Medical Foundation for Hormone Therapy, how the people you can help with this, including myself, who is aging by the minute, although I look fantastic. I'm falling apart, Jimmy.
Hey, it happens to all of us. Our goal is to help you get out in front of some of those things before they ever happen.
Can't even hit the bag anymore. Everything hurts, the wrists, the elbows. Maybe it's just that I'm too powerful, as I tell myself, or is it age?
Who knows? You know, maybe a little bit of both, man. Like, as I say, a body in motion stays in motion.
So tell me a little bit about this business, and it really kind of is morphing from your other businesses, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Agentis Longevity was launched under the mission to help people advance healthier, happier, longer lives through innovative healthcare solutions. And our goal is to drive the standard of care here by helping people get out in front of their health issues. And as you referenced so kindly, have had a number of different lives, but I'd say this is a perfect combination of my focus towards high performance optimization in sports, being a football player and on the U.S. rowing team, and then of course on the other side of things, from helping people meet unmet needs through innovative healthcare solutions. This combination of people getting out in front of their health issues with that knowledge on how to rest, recover, and repeat in high performance sports just made the launch of Agentis make a lot of sense.
Well, I think your timing is also perfect. I'm very political, Jimmy, so I can't tell you about all the times I saw you catch the touchdown as you were a professional football player for the Titans, I believe, right? You were a tight end. But what I can tell you is that being political, I knew the moment this country took Barack Obama from the Democrat mafia in Chicago and made him president, things in the healthcare arena were going to change for the worse. And when you look at our healthcare system today, and you look at the life expectancy, how much lower it is, and you look at the care for people as they get older, this is something nobody's going to give you your health in the future. You have to take control of it. And I am not a medicine guy. I don't like any medicines. I don't like pharmaceuticals. So if you're telling me that this is the way to do it through natural hormone therapy and different options in taking care of yourself, this is exactly what people need. At the same time, the healthcare system in the country is getting weaker, is a stronger option in the private sector. I feel it's perfect timing. Have you thought about this as you created this business?
We certainly understand it's perfect timing, but I'll be honest, there's really no time better than now in any era that you live in to get out in front of health issues before they become true health care issues. And that's been our perspective, is that there are basic things that we believe every single person in America should have access to. Every single person in America should have access to understand what's happening with their hormone health. They should have access to a robust set of blood work and biomarkers to know what's working well, what's not working well. They should have access to understand how their heart health is working, what's their body composition, and then frankly just have an opportunity to get out in front of these issues before they become issues with true autonomy. And when you talk about some things that may have come out with previous administration, I do believe that there was likely some misaligned interests associated with how they approached care. And we have always believed that if you live in a world where you're on roller skates and kind of push backwards in this less preventive but more reactive state, you're going to continue to play a game of whack-a-mole with your health. And so our objective here is to help arm you with information that you deserve to have access to and to give you a roadmap to get out in front of these issues to set yourself up for a nice, healthy, happy life.
Now, most people are ignorant to exactly how important this kind of therapy is. And you can be in shape, you can be fit, and you can still have an imbalance in hormones. Is that correct?
That's right, yes, which does lead into part of that other part of the topic, which is our work in trying to help give veterans access to this type of care to help them with some of their symptoms after being deployed. You know, they're in these stress-ridden environments. Their lives are literally on the line for our country. And when they come back, they are only given access to health care that's largely outdated. And I don't think that the VA is necessarily to blame. I think that what happens is the VA is following suit with traditional standards of care and is not being pushed to innovate. One thing that we love is this administration cares about innovating. They want to slow down the suicide rates that are taking place, where apparently it's 22 per day of our veterans are making that decision. And it's something that we want to be able to arm them with access to this type of care to hopefully put them in a better mindset. And, you know, these are soldiers who come back, and like you said, they look like they're in tip-top shape, but their mental health may be struggling because they've been in a stress-ridden environment. They've seen terrible things. But on top of that, like, you know, they're eating all the bad foods while they're being deployed, and they come back and they're launched into this almost like this parallel universe when they get here. And we want to be able to help them ease back into normal society. But also, I believe our veterans deserve to have access to world-class care, and that's what we're embarking to do.
Well, it's interesting. I have a relative who is a military. It's his whole career in the military, and he's in his 70s now. And if I brought him in a room, Jimmy, you would think to yourself, boy, this guy looks great for being 58, 72. But he's also somebody who is always on top of it. He was the smartest guy in my family. He's still the smartest guy in my family. So he took the initiative to do this. And what's sad is when so many guys get back and they're young and you're invincible. When you're young, you know that. We're all invincible. And then before you know it, you get old. And maybe it's something that you forget to take advantage of, all of what's out there for veterans. So there is already in what they're entitled to with insurance and their different options they have, they're already probably entitled to you. They just need to contact you. Is that, do I have it right or am I wrong?
That's right. Yes. So yes, I mean, ultimately what we're trying to do is we're pioneering a new way of care. And so some of this is we have to work to improve the standard of care and to change those guidelines and to give our veterans access to this type of care, some of the things that we do provide are covered by insurance and some are cash pay because we're working to pioneer that standard of care as well. And so we ultimately want to create access, and by creating access, you make this affordable, you make this accessible. But before we do that, you have to build trust, you have to have right data, and then we have to work at the highest level, which we are. We're working on the Hill. We're working directly with HHS and the FDA. We're working with various boards of medicine to pioneer a new way of medicine so we can ultimately help people gain access to this type of world-class care when they otherwise likely just didn't have access to it.
But you've done this before. You were with another company. You started out with very handful of employees, 9, right? And now you built it up to over 1,000 employees. So you know how to scale this up and to expose it to the right people. And I'm a broker at heart. I always have been. What about Tunnel to Towers? Come on now, Jimmy. We hook you up. They're a friend of the show.
That's right. Well, I tend to say that the recipe for success in any business can largely be centered around selecting and executing on the right set of values as an organization. And we live our life this way in our family, and we center our life around family, faith, fitness, and mission. And within this mission that I have of helping people live longer, healthier, happier lives, give them access to world-class care, and give them access to innovative healthcare technologies to meet these unmet needs, we then at Agentis are focused on our core values too. And if you focus on your core values, I believe you put yourself in a safe place. Then you have to be clear on mission and clear on vision, and have done this in the past. Then you couple that with building what I think is a world-class culture where people are behind it. They'll run through a wall to help you accomplish your mission. They're really behind you. To me, that's the overall recipe for success. And we've created something great here. We've got a growing team. We've got a national presence already with clinics all over the country. And so far, we have the opportunity to really pave the pathway to change healthcare.
Well, what I love about everything in your own resume, but what I love about the arenas you go into, it's really for the people who understand you have to take control of your life. Nobody's going to do it for you. But when you do it, you can have a higher quality and live a better life on this planet. I mean, this is the thing I saw. When I moved to Florida, when I moved to Southwest Florida, the difference in the seniors, the difference in the people, their attitude is the beginning. But the way in which they took control of their lives early on shows you how wonderful it is as you age. This is something that if you're listening and you're in your 50s or even your 60s, you could change the way you live the rest of your life through taking advantage of some of the things that are out there and offered through this company. I really am a big fan of the company. But tell us some of the things that hormones that both men and women need that they may not know they need as they get older.
Sure. So what we do is we do a series of robust testing that is super accessible. Actually, you can gain access to it online for about $150. And we take all of that data and we couple that into various domains around, say, cognitive health, hormone health, nutrition, organ health, heart health, and we create care plans associated with that. Oftentimes those care plans are accompanied by hormone optimization therapy, dietary and supplementation, and peptide therapies. And instead of just giving people access to peptides that they think they want, we actually tie our peptide protocols directly back to your labs to provide you a clear treatment plan. And then they test and they retest every 3 months. So now they have a scoreboard for their health. They're able to see what other biomarkers are moving, why they're moving. Ultimately, that then creates a level of trust where our healthcare customers and patients are inspired. They're trusting us. They're inspired. They're excited to continue on their treatment journey. And those that stay with us for multiple years are the ones that truly see the benefit because they've stuck with the program. They see their scoreboard and they're actually able to show the measurable results of the care that they adopted.
One of the things that's amazing to me is how people do not realize what they put in their mouth, how it destroys some of the things in their body. And you have generations now where these kids are told, go ahead, smoke the dope you want, take the pills you want for attention deficit disorder, do this and do that, drink as much as you want. So can your hormone therapy, have you worked with people who have been on the verge of addiction, suffered with some kind of an addiction, and you're replacing some of the things they've unknowingly harmed in their body, making it potentially easier to stop the addiction that has destroyed their body?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm happy to very quickly walk through the mechanics of that. So within the veterans that we're working to serve, oftentimes they come back with symptoms of depression or they are clinically depressed, and they are provided access to psych medications, which might inhibit their dopamine receptors, or it might cause hormones to respond a certain way to numb and or dull that pain that may be causing those symptoms, but they're not resolving the issues. And the best way to resolve those issues is to evaluate your hormones and to treat your hormones. And if you do those things, now the chemicals in your body, which are hormones, start to align better. They start to be put more into balance. And then you have this beautiful symphony where all of your hormones are working well together. But if you try to mask those hormones that are not performing well, so like take, for example, dopamine. If your dopamine is depleted, you start to experience some cognitive impairment. And so oftentimes what people do is they turn to substances such as alcohol or sometimes drugs or sometimes prescription drugs to help give them that dopamine spike, which then of course, you know what that leads to. So our perspective is you actually can treat yourself with great hormone optimization therapy, and those needs and those desires to seek out those crutches, if you will, whether it's a food addiction or alcohol, those addicted desires actually start to subside because your brain and your body are working harmoniously together.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And this is something I've watched, and living through that era of trying to get kids on all kinds of dope and seeing what the pharmaceuticals have done with Oxycontin and the rest of it. I mean, I love the idea that the answers are often out there and they're natural, and you turn to it and your life existence is better. I really do. So if you have anything, have you done anything as named one of the programs, the anti-Joe Biden, where I don't soil my pants and start babbling nonsense? Do you have one of those programs? No, don't get in trouble.
We have not created any type of program like that, but we have created programs to help improve your cognition and to balance your emotions and hopefully help people make more sound decisions if there's any parallels there.
I love it. Jimmy St. Louis, where's the best place to go and find out the information about Agentis Longevity?
AgentisLongevity.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn at my name is Jimmy St. Louis. Check me out there. Also on Instagram, and we post a lot of great content, very informational, and I'm always there as a resource. If any of your listeners would like to chat, I would love to hear from them.
All right. I love that you did this, and I love that you exposed this to the people. Let me know when you go public. I want to buy stock in this company. I love it.
All right, man. Well, we're here to help people live longer, healthier, happier lives, man. I just appreciate the chance to share this message.
Jimmy, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Really, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll be back with your calls and comments.